In a recent interview with Sony big boss Hideaki Nishino, confirmed that PlayStation consoles are here to stay. But before we get into that, here's the question of the day. What do you think of this month's lineup of PS Plus Essential tier? And have you tried the Justice League game yet? Let me know in the comments. And we'll get back to this later. I have some pretty controversial thoughts. But for now, let's get into the biggest PlayStation news in the last 24 hours. While Sony is expanding its reach to platforms like PC consoles remain the core of their gaming business. Speaking to Famitsu, Nishino said that with many players still enjoying PS4 games and the PS5 library growing, he doesn't see major changes for PlayStation anytime soon. Consoles will remain at the center of Sony's strategy for a while. Even with the PlayStation Portal supporting cloud streaming for console-free gaming, Nishino pointed out that hardware is still essential. Players need a controller and a screen, so physical devices aren't going anywhere. At the same time, Sony wants to reach more players outside the PlayStation ecosystem. Nishino mentioned platforms like PC as a focus, though some moves, like requiring a PSN account for PC games, have stirred up frustration, especially with Helldivers 2 players. This approach feels similar to Xbox's push to expand beyond consoles, but Sony is sticking to its flagship devices as the keystone of its strategy. For Xbox, the keystone seems to be Game Pass and cloud gaming, as shown in their "This is an Xbox" campaign that highlights gaming across various devices. While PlayStation lags behind Xbox in cloud gaming, its dominance in console sales likely gives it breathing room. Sony doesn't need to rush into cloud-first strategies, though it's worth considering how greater accessibility could benefit players. And speaking of numbers, according to VG charts as reported by Forbes, the PS5 outsold the Xbox Series by a massive 5-to-1 ratio in November 2024. VG charts estimates the PS5 sold 4.1 million units during that month. Black Friday and the release of the PS5 Pro definitely helped with that. That's an 18% increase compared to last year. On the other hand, Xbox Series only sold around 767,000 units in November. It's pretty clear PlayStation is leading the hardware sales game. Microsoft seems to be shifting gears a bit by releasing some first-party games on Nintendo and PlayStation platforms, but they're still sticking to the hardware market. And honestly, while it's cool to see PlayStation doing so well, having Xbox stay competitive is better for everyone. Like, remember the PS3 days? Xbox 360 pushed Sony to up their game, and we got some amazing franchises out of it. Speaking of Xbox, there's a rumor their next-gen console, possibly called Xbox Prime, will drop in 2026. Unlike Sony's PS5 Pro, they might skip a mid-gen refresh altogether. Guess we'll see how that plays out. Now for some backward compatibility news. There's movement on PS3 games coming to the PS5. Implicit conversions. The team behind the Classics program confirmed they're working on PS3 emulation for their Syrup engine. This isn't just a rumor, it's straight from the devs. It's still unclear if Sony's directly involved or if this is a third-party project, but it's exciting to see someone openly tackling PS3 emulation. Chances are these games will be PlayStation 5 only because of the power required, but we'll have to wait and see. So what PS3 games are you hoping to play again? Let me know, and I'll keep you posted as this develops. Here's the biggest news of the week so far. Sony's really going all in on expanding the PlayStation universe, and one of the big announcements at CES 2025 was a Ghost of Tsushima anime series. So let's talk about what this could mean. PlayStation Productions is teaming up with Crunchyroll and Aniplex to bring Jin Sakai's story to life in a completely new way. The game already had that whole cinematic samurai vibe, so honestly, an anime feels like a perfect match. Like, just picture the sweeping landscapes, those intense duels, and all the emotional moments animated with stunning detail. If they nail this, it could be a huge tribute to the game and to classic Japanese storytelling. There's no word yet on the exact plot, but it'll probably stick pretty close to the game's story. You know, Jin's journey from being an honorable samurai to becoming the ghost as he fights to free Tsushima from the Mongols. If you're a fan of the game, this is definitely something to keep an eye on. Sony didn't stop there. They confirmed a Helldivers 2 movie is in the works. This game blew up in popularity last year, and now it's heading to the big screen. With the co-op chaos of the game, the movie could be a mix of action and humor. Like, think Starship Troopers vibes, but with that PlayStation touch. And then there's Horizon Zero Dawn. After the plans for a Netflix series fell apart, Sony switched things up. Now, Aloy's origin story is being turned into a movie by Columbia Pictures and PlayStation Productions. It's still in the early stages, so there aren't many details yet. But if they stick to the game's game's rich lore and stunning visuals, this could turn into something really cool. To wrap things up, Naughty Dog's Neil Druckmann gave fans a little treat. He shared a short clip from The Last of Us Season 2. The show premieres on Max in April, and it's set to dive deeper into the strained relationship between Joel and Ellie. Druckmann and the team are keeping most details under wraps, but the teaser had just enough to get fans buzzing. This is all part of Sony's plan to bring its PlayStation stories to both big and small screens. After the success of The Last of Us, and how PlayStation games focus so much on strong narratives, Sony is really going all in on adaptations. With projects like Ghost of Tsushima and Horizon Zero Dawn, they're leaning hard into storytelling. It makes sense though. These games already feel like movies when you play them, so expanding them into TV and film seems like the next step. It's a great time to be a PlayStation fan, but there's always some risk with adaptations. They have to capture what makes these games so loved while still being great shows or movies on their own. If they get it right, Ghost of Tsushima as an anime could be amazing, and a Horizon movie could turn into a blockbuster. What about you? Are you more excited to see Jin Sakai in anime form or Aloy making her big screen debut? Either way, Sony's making some big moves, and it'll be interesting to see how it all turns out.
Waller, the penguin is in flight. Repeat, the penguin is in flight. Fricasseed penguin. Let's get him to... Oh my god, he's getting up!
Hitting him again.
He's ran out the door! Somebody stop him!
Sony's lineup of free PlayStation Plus games for January 2025 is now available to redeem in the PlayStation Store. This month's free PlayStation Plus games include one of 2024's most controversial games for PlayStation 5, namely Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League from the people that brought us the Arkham series. You know what makes Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010 so awesome? First off, it's all about that thrilling cops versus racers vibe. One minute you're nailing top speeds as a racer, the next you're busting perps as a cop. It really lets you switch roles and see both sides of the chase. Plus, the roads are designed so you can drift around corners and catch massive air off hidden ramps. It's non-stop, high adrenaline action. And let's not forget those gorgeous car models from Lamborghinis to Porsches that make you feel like a total speed demon. Overall, if you're looking for a racing game where every chase feels like a Hollywood car scene, Hot Pursuit 2010 delivers every single time. The Stanley Parable is unlike any game you've played. Imagine a witty narrator guiding you through an empty office telling you what to do. But here's the catch. You can follow his instructions or outright ignore them, and each choice leads you down a totally different path. It's kind of like a mind-bending, choose-your-own adventure, complete with sudden twists, secret endings, and a giant dose of humor. Ever wondered if your character is the one really making decisions, or if the game is just messing with you? That's exactly what makes the Stanley Parable so weird and wonderful. It constantly breaks the fourth wall and pokes fun at game design itself. If you like games that question reality and never tell the same story twice, you'll definitely get a kick out of this one. Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League had a lot going for it. Same studio behind the popular Arkham game's cool premise of anti-heroes versus superheroes, but things got messy. When early gameplay footage and details leaked, fans weren't thrilled with how it seemed like more of a generic live service shooter, instead of the story-driven, character-focused experience they expected from Rocksteady. All those microtransaction-looking menus, battle passes, and the constant need to be online rubbed people the wrong way. It also kept getting delayed, which usually signals that a game needs major fixes or isn't shaping up as planned. With each delay, hype started turning into skepticism. By the time people heard more news, they were already disappointed, feeling like they weren't getting the real Suicide Squad or the real Rocksteady magic they loved from the Arkham series. So even before launch, it had this "it failed" vibe in the court of public opinion. Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League dropped on PS Plus yesterday, and I told myself I'd give it 2 hours. Well, 12 hours later, here I am. Let me just say this. The hate for this game is not deserved. Is it perfect? No, not at all. But did I laugh at every single cutscene? Oh, absolutely. I was laughing out loud the entire time. Look, you're allowed to like whatever you like. Hate Suicide Squad, hate God of War, hate Spider-Man PlayStation, or even PC gaming. It's your opinion. But what we shouldn't do is attack people for enjoying what they enjoy. Personally, I don't like a lot of the games other people love, but I'm not out there trying to ruin their fun. For example, I'm not into JRPGs. They're just not for me. I can't get into them no matter how hard I try. But that doesn't mean I'm going to trash them or the people who love them. Same goes for turn-based games like Baldur's Gate. And don't even get me started on Elden Ring. It's just not my vibe. Dying over and over again is too frustrating for me, but I still respect it as an art form. In fact, I love watching playthroughs of Elden Ring. Seeing Radbrad die 10 times against a boss? That's peak entertainment for me.
I wonder if the dragon in the beginning is the same. Oh my god, frostbite. Okay, that was almost half my health.
I get a ton of joy from watching expert players crush it in boss fights. Here's the thing, everyone's into different stuff. Everyone has their own sense of humor. For me, Suicide Squad was hilarious. Every cutscene had me laughing because I don't take it too seriously. I love how dumb Boomerang is. Shark Guy?
Ah, do you feel it? The swell of pride for what we have accomplished together.
What's funny is how people online can't make up their minds. One minute, they're complaining games are too realistic. Realism is killing gaming. We just want games that feel like games. Then Suicide Squad comes out, and they're upset. It feels too gamey. Like, what do you actually want? Realism or games that just let you have fun? Here's the truth. There's a game out there for everyone. Every genre. Every style. It's like trying to tell a Call of Duty fan that FPS games suck, and they should only play RPGs. It makes no sense. Let people enjoy what they enjoy, and if you don't like it, that's fine too. The gaming world is big enough for all of us. Okay, let's debunk a few complaints I've seen thrown around a lot about this game, even before it had the controversial DLCs like Lawless and Freeze. One big complaint is that the screen is too overstimulating. People say there are numbers flying everywhere, the HUD is too intrusive, and you get constant tutorials telling you what to do. Oh no, the pain, the drama. All right, here's a simple fix. Go to the options menu and turn off whatever you don't want to see. That's what I did after about half an hour. Problem solved. So yeah, that argument doesn't really hold up. For now, I've only played with Harley Quinn because I really liked her traversal mechanics. It kind of gave me Spider-Man vibes with the way she swings around. I'll keep playing and try out the other characters too. Gameplay is fun. The dialogue made me laugh, but that's just my taste. And the performance is super smooth. The facial animations, honestly, some of the best I've seen in years. Now don't get me wrong, the game isn't perfect. I wouldn't pay full price for it, but this is where PS Plus comes in clutch. Sometimes a game that everyone hates pops up and you think, okay, I'll finally try it and see if I hate it too. But then surprise, you don't hate it. For me, it turned out to be a fun weekend game. My experience got even better because I played halfway through with my brother. I kept telling him, I don't hate this. 4 hours later, I was like, okay, I need to go make a video. But instead, we said one more mission, and next thing you know, we pulled an all-nighter. 9 hours straight. That says a lot, doesn't it? Look, it's okay if you don't like the game. It's also okay to enjoy something most people don't. You can like AC Shadows and First Descendant at the same time. What I'm saying is, be mindful of who you're listening to. Don't even take my word for it. But try not to be on the far right or the far left of the conversation. At the end of the day, you're only doing yourself a disservice. It's a game. Either you have fun or you don't. Elden Ring is a great example. It was ridiculously overhyped for casual players when it dropped, and that hype snowballed. Everyone bought it, but then a lot of people complained it was too hard. What happened? They got bullied online by FromSoft fanboys. I think we can do better. That's all. Ashley out.
The end review is one guy's opinion. One guy. That makes it not more or less valid than any other person. Why be mad about it? And if the answer is, yeah, but they have a huge reach, why is that? Nobody hand-selected IGN to be the arbiters of what's good or bad. The truth is, a lot of people watch them because a lot of people find some value there. Doesn't make their opinions more correct. It is still just an opinion.
Es ist nur eine Couch.
My ranking of a game is not more or less valid than that of a random hobo who's never played a video game in his life. I'm not kidding. My mom doesn't play video games, but if she did and she reviewed one, her review would be as valid to me than that of any other person. I do not care about how much the person knows about the medium, the culture, the production process. Sometimes the less they know, the more unbiased and unburdened their opinion can be, actually.
If you want to be ahead of all the gaming leaks and news, specifically PlayStation news, time for you to subscribe. And as always, a like on the video is very much appreciated.